Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
My name is Melissa.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Eli.
Eli, cool. I'd love to know where you're from and why you chose Gallaudet.
The reason why I came to Gallaudet was because of the easy access to communication. I grew up being mainstreamed with a deaf program. I feel as if the hearing world doesn't really understand who I am, my identity, and what it's like to be a deaf person. So when I found out about Gallaudet, the deaf community, a deaf school, I felt as if it'd be easy to fit in. I wouldn't be questioned in regards to who I am as a deaf person.
You mentioned that you grew up signing English, not ASL, until you enrolled in Gallaudet. You might have felt a jostle in seeing the difference between English and ASL. Did you feel welcome?
Yeah, I did. Prior to my coming here, I wasn't 100% aware of it, but I could understand what some signs meant generally. Once I came here from being mainstreamed and could see it firsthand, I noticed that there wasn't much of a difference. The structure of signs are similar, it is just more condensed.
You know how some people perceive Gallaudet as a place where you must sign fluently or be from a deaf school? Is this true?
No, from my own personal experience as a first-year student, I met so many people who signed well, grew up mainstreamed, didn't know much sign language. It's just so diverse here. There are so many, but from my experience, most were willing to work with you regardless of your signing level. People are willing to slow down or accommodate your needs.
Your group of friends, how do you support one another?
I think having friends who are hard of hearing is nice, so signing wouldn't always be needed. For example, when I first came here, I didn't know much ASL, and I was unsure about whether I'd fit in, so having a group of hard of hearing friends who I could communicate with made it easier for me to transition within Gallaudet. Having a group of friends helped because if I needed a break from ASL or someone to talk to, I have them to turn to.
It's so nice that you're able to keep your identity and you feel as if you can communicate with anyone, not sticking to one mode.
Right.
You mentioned another important identity of yours here, your Black identity.
Yes.
Do you mind telling me more about that?
So, I think coming to Gallaudet definitely pushed me to find my deaf identity and my Black identity. I wanted to have that here, so I got involved. I'm a member of BSU. Being involved with that and having that commonality with a group of deaf people is awesome. Being involved helps keep identities alive here and helps us interact with people like us.
Could you tell me what BSU is, what it stands for, and how the community support is like around it?
BSU is about working together as a group to support one another. Of course, we have events that we host, fundraising, community service, but it isn't always that. It's nice to have a network to make new friends and to get together outside of the organization and to build friendships that give me the sense that I'm with people just like me.
What else do you do here in DC? I know you're involved with Busboys and Poets. Could you tell me about that?
Every month we host an ASL Poetry Night. It's an opportunity for different communities to get together. The hearing community comes as well. Deaf and hard of hearing people get together and express poetry through ASL. Some will choose ASL poetry via ASL. Some do skits or come up with their own poems. It varies and it's a cool experience.
Do you perform?
Yes.
What do you usually perform?
I love music, so sometimes I pick a song that is well known and interpret it into an ASL poem.
So you left Gallaudet for a bit and came back. How do you come back?
One of the reasons why I left was because of finances. I was unsure of my ability to afford tuition, so I left and delayed my return. My friend, who is also a Gallaudet student, encouraged me to reach out to Gallaudet and see if there were some ways to return since I had some debt. I wanted to see if there was anything to work out, if I could pay the debt. I contacted Gallaudet and they were able to work with me to set up a payment plan for me so I could return to school.
What kind of plan did Gallaudet give you?
A payment plan. So I initially left with a good amount of debt, so I was afraid that I'd have to pay it all back up front, which I didn't have. Gallaudet was willing to set up a repayment plan where I'd be able to pay it in installments and not feel as if I'd need to make a large bulk payment. That was nice.
So you came back as a student while paying back the debt?
Yes. I was required to pay a bit up front, and the rest were paid over a period of time.
That's nice that they were willing to do that. Gallaudet believes in the success of every student here. It isn't like they're saying, too bad, goodbye. They wanted you back and wanted to work with you so you could succeed here.
Right.
What about the faculty and staff here? Did any of them support you in encouraging to come back and continue with your success?
Yes, one of my biggest supporters is my academic advisor, Kathy O'Brien. She was my advisor at the time. Anytime I'd have frustrations with class, school, finances, or whatever I got frustrated about, she'd be there for me with positivity and support. She encouraged me a lot. It inspired and motivated me to keep pushing and finish my degree.
That's good. What is your degree in?
Communication studies.
What do you want to do with your degree?
I chose communication studies because it's very broad and has many applications in different industries. I thought that I couldn't go wrong with a communications degree because you develop soft skills that can be applied in many areas.
Right. You had a cool internship and are currently working with...
Yeah, I currently intern with the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, working in HR management. It's been a great experience meeting senior leaders, working on nice projects, and networking with interns from all over the nation. It's been a cool experience.
You mentioned a few things about WRP and how you navigated the process. Do you mind expanding on what it is and how you got your way in?
Sure. I wanted to work within the federal government. Typically, federal employment is extremely competitive, and the WRP gives students with disabilities ways to enter the federal workforce. How it works is, you'd apply for a WRP, fill out a form where you enter your resume, GPA, and job preferences. Once completed, you'd submit it and it enters a database where recruiters can filter through applicants and review all of your information. They can reach out to you directly to set up an interview, which is nice because then you won't need to constantly search and reach out on your own. It gives recruiters an opportunity to reach out to me for work directly.
Cool. That must be nice because I know it is extremely competitive to apply for a federal internship. You had your in, a way to prove yourself, through the WRP regardless of your deafness.
The governmental process is very long. Sometimes after submitting an application, you may not hear back for months. But with the WRP, recruiters can reach out to you and the process is much easier since they can directly ask whether you wanted to interview and gauge your interest. After the interview, it's streamlined from there and is an easy process.
In your opinion, this would affect other students, right? Do you think students here should apply through WRP?
If they're interested in the federal workforce, I would highly recommend using WRP because it gives you a chance to get your foot in the door. Even if it isn't working, you can use it for internships, which is also a good way of getting into the federal workforce. So yes, I highly recommend it.
For sure. Because of all the support you received from Gallaudet. It led you to your internship, and now you're about to enter graduate school. What are your goals for the future?
I want to be a leader. I will major in public administration. I want to learn a lot of skills, leadership skills, skills that complement with working in government. So, of course, I want a promotion at some point. And I feel like an MPA will help me become more of a leader within the federal workforce.
What will you major in for grad school?
Grad school, my undergraduate major is communication studies, while my graduate major is public administration.
Cool. Since you love DC, who knows? You may end up working at Gallaudet one day and give back to Gallaudet.
You never know. It's a big possibility.
Yes. You know, college is not cheap. And not all students have the luxury of receiving VR support or benefits. Some people may have the burning desire to come to Gallaudet, but are hesitant because of financial reasons. What is your advice to them?
I would say if you know that Gallaudet is where you want to be, then you can make it work. I'd recommend you to take the initiative to reach out to Gallaudet with any concerns about money, and reach out to the financial office. A lot of times they are willing to work with you and help you find resources, scholarships, and the money you need. But you will need to be proactive. Reach out. Say you're interested in going to Gallaudet and express your concerns about finances and what can be done. They will be willing to work with you and find the resources you may need.
A lot of times you won't know unless you ask them and look into it. There are plenty of resources available out there.
Right. You cannot be afraid. If you want it bad enough, go and get it.
Yes, don't be afraid to ask. Looking forward to the next time we chat. Thank you.
Cool. The communications major is paying off for me, I guess.